this is Barbara from Vienna, Austria, and I felt this is the right time for me to finally show the face to the hands. And I would like to start off by saying that I find it absolutely incredible that I have reached 10,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh! You have shown me so much love and support since I have started my channel, and I cannot even begin to tell you how grateful I am and what it means to me. I love all the interaction we have. I love all of your comments, and I'm also very thankful for all the advice I've received from you over the time of starting my channel. So as a small token of appreciation for you and for your support, I wanted to share 3 prizes with you today. I'll talk about one prize, which is the main prize, here in a moment, and the other 2, which I know you're gonna love as well, I'm going to talk about a little later on in the video, but this main prize is really something very special. So I've been contacted by the lovely Fances from Germany. Fances doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she does have an Instagram, which I will link below. And Fances had the fun idea of creating a junk journal with signatures from various creators throughout the world to form an international junk journal. So how fun is that? So I agreed, of course, to do this with her, and we decided to have it as a giveaway prize for today's 10K giveaway. So I feel very lucky that Fances has shared this wonderful idea with me and that I can share this journal with you. And since that idea, I have received the other signatures. So this junk journal will have 4 signatures. So the first one came from Fances from Germany. Then we have another one from Frouckje, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Frouckje from the Netherlands. Frouckje does have a YouTube channel called The Quiet Rebel, and I will link that down below. And Frouckje, I love her channel a lot. I just discovered her a few weeks ago, and the word that comes to mind when I think of her channel is cozy, because that's just the feeling her channel gives me, and she seems so lovely and authentic and fun, so definitely worth checking out Frouckje's channel. Then I received the third signature, which was from my friend Alison in Pennsylvania in the US. Alison is the lovely girl whose journal I've also been using, this wonderful the blue door journal. And so each creator has put their own spin on the signatures, and my job now is to put them together and to make a signature of my own, to put all these 4 signatures together into a junk journal. So I will also be making a cover. So that's the process I would like to share with you in this video, and then at a later time I will also let you know what the other 2 fun prizes are. I'm very excited about those as well. And so I will now switch to my top-down camera, which is actually just my phone. So I'll see you in a little bit. So here we are with the signatures. So you see here 3 signatures, and I will give you a very brief flip through. And this is the cover I will be working on for this journal. You'll see it will look quite different once I've completed all the work. So the first signature I'm showing you here is from Frouckje from the Netherlands. And it's just a very brief flip through because I don't want to show you too much. This is the second one. This is from Fances, because I want the winner to also be able to just find a few more surprises and enjoy all the little bits. So that's why this is just a brief flip through. And this third one is from Alison, and they won't be put in the book quite in that order. So my turn to make my own signature. So I've already pre-chosen some papers that I'm considering to add. So I just went through some goodies that I have. Some are from Happy Mail, some are from other projects, papers that were left over, and some are just book pages from vintage books. And so what I'm doing here is I am just tearing or cutting pages down to the size I need them to be, and all the pages are approximately 5 by 8 inches. That is what we all agreed on, so that they would all have the same size. This is some empty vintage music paper. This is obviously from a sewing I was gonna say journal, from a vintage sewing magazine. They had this insert, and this one I'm just cutting out with a scissor because there was no way I was gonna get that in my trimmer. Plus I think it would have probably torn it. Some things you just have to cut with scissors, which is fine. These are some pages of the book where I'm using the book cover. This is some ledger paper I found at Goodwill. A little bit too tall. And this is some coffee dyed paper that I made, which I had to also trim down a little bit. Quite dark coffee paper actually. Usually mine are not that dark. But I tried a different process with these, and yeah, it's a different outcome. Don't know if I'll do it again. It was a lot of hassle. Okay, so now I've got all my papers in order. I thought we agreed to like 8 to 10 papers per signature. So now I'm going to determine the order that I want to put these in, and I'm trying to vary between different designs and different page colors so that there is a nice variation from page to page. Stacking that up, putting the envelope in the middle. And that will be the order of my signature, but I will also make some embellishments. Here I'm just checking about the width, whether I can keep the original spine of the book or not. And I actually thought I could keep it, meaning that I will actually be covering it. I didn't know that at this stage yet, but I'm not tearing the spine out. So I will be sewing in the signatures and then covering up the back of the spine. So here I have some vintage wallpaper that I found at a tiny indoor flea market, and I am going to make just a very simple pocket out of it as first embellishment for my signature. So I've just scored some lines so that it would be easier to fold 3 sides down to form a proper pocket in which you can actually fit something. So now I'm just cutting away all the parts I don't need. So now I'm gonna fold and score all those lines. And now I'm realizing that I did something wrong, because this was actually supposed to be a pocket that I would use as like a tip-in, but I don't know what I was thinking. It just is not working out. So no, not to worry. I'm redesigning this pocket and I'm cutting off, or actually I'm gluing down one of the flaps on the top so that it at least has a nice edge. So I think that's what that was. And now I'm just trimming those flaps down a little bit because they were unnecessarily long for this kind of pocket. And now I'm choosing a page that I can add that to, and I thought this one worked perfectly. I think that's what I end up doing. No, I don't. I put it on this map page. Yep. So I'm using my beloved 3-in-1 glue. I have that linked below in case you're interested. I'm using it up really fast. And I'm just gonna glue that down. Make sure I wipe off any excess glue that comes squishing out on the sides. If you wipe it away with a kitchen towel, then you won't have any glossy parts. So this is a stamp that here you see the packaging. I got this at the craft flea market I went to a few weeks ago. That is the number in case you're looking for it. It's really cute. So I just stamped this image on my beige cardstock, and I'm going to be adding that as a tip-in with this washi. And this washi was in the stationery bento box. And if you missed that video, the unboxing of that, then I will link that down below again for you. And I'm using the same washi for both sides of this tip-in. I love this washi. Okay, so that's an embellishment. Then this is a copy of a wonderful book that I found at a bookshop about vintage costumes. And I just scanned a page and then printed out these images, and now I just sewed that in to form a tuck spot on the top corner of that page. Then I had to also add some mushrooms, so I will be doing that on this little page. So I'm just distressing around the edges, and then I thought it kind of needs a little bit of a background as well, so I'm using that same number washi, just putting one strip down just to kind of anchor that a little bit. Next I have this little envelope, which is from one of the Your Creative Studio unboxing videos. I will link the last one down below as well for your information. And I'm just clipping that on with a paper clip. And this is an embellishment I received in Happy Mail, and I decided to add that in the envelope. And the envelope actually has a little seal on the back, and I thought, well, I think it needs to have a real seal. So I'm using this beautiful bee wax seal with some golden wax to add to this envelope without actually closing the envelope. So I just put a piece of kind of like a wax paper underneath so that it wouldn't actually close the envelope. And I will try to find this seal as well. I think this is from AliExpress. So there's the seal. Might be a little bit big for that envelope, but I still think it's nice. So I'm just gonna put the paper clip on again. Next, I also wanted to add a few vintage tickets. So I'll just be adding those with another paper clip, just so that the winner of this has something to play with as well. Next, I add this little calendar page from AliExpress. It's for January, and it kind of gets lost in there. So I decided to clip it on that other page instead. And instead I add this beautiful rose card, which is also AliExpress. I will link both of those down below as well. I'm just checking where else I might add something, and I have this cute little pocket which had come in a Happy Mail, and I'm happy to share this with the winner as well. So I'm gonna clip that on. I'm clipping on images or pockets because I think the winner should be able to decide where exactly they want them, which is why I don't want to glue or sew everything in. Now this is a sticker. I don't remember where this is from. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know. Might have been a Happy Mail. So again, I'm just clipping that on. Next we have this beautiful bird image which I have punched out of a vintage book that I found at Goodwill, and I've just inked around it, and I will actually be gluing this one down on this page to form a tuck spot. Next, I will also be adding a little tag, a herbal tag from the Digital Collage Club. I will also link those down in the description box as well. I'm adding one on the left side as well. And then this is another stamped image from some stamps I got at the craft fair. And I don't think I have the packaging of those anymore, which is why I can't show it to you. I'm sorry. So I'm just putting that down on this coffee stained paper for some more interest, as well as this bird. This is from the same set. Just gonna ink around the edges a little bit and glue him down on the opposite side. Nope, on the back of the opposite side. Next, I have this little butterfly out of a vintage German book page, and I'm going to be cutting him in two because I just wanted half of him on the page, just like that. Next, I wanted to make a tab, so I am just gonna cut one out of some coffee dyed paper. And then I wanted to punch the word create on there with my clickable alphabet stamps, which I will also link below down in the affiliate Amazon links. I love this set a lot, and so then I stamped that with my Memento Espresso Truffle ink, which almost looks like black, but it's like a dark gray. And it kind of fit on there, but I'll show you close up in a moment. I wasn't totally happy with it because it was just cut off a little bit, and so I decided, nope, that won't do. We can do better. So instead I decided to use this 12-digit rollable stamp, which I will also link below. It's from AliExpress, and I'm going to again write the word create and stamp that on the tab instead with the same ink. Always do a practice stamp with that one to see if your letters are actually lined up. And I left some space on the right of it because I wanted to make a hole and put an eyelet in there. So I'm using my crocodile. I have that linked below as well in case you don't find it locally. Got mine from Joann's in the States. And sometimes I get questions about which eyelets you can use. So the instructions of this crocodile say you can use 1/8 or I think 3/16 of an inch for eyelet sizes. So here I have a bulb clip, and I'm looking for a charm that I can add, and I'm going to take this cute little key. These are also AliExpress. I will also link those below. Gosh, there's going to be a lot of links in this one. And I'm just going to add that, and I think that's a really cute addition to any journal like this. And I think the last thing I add is this butterfly punch out, which it's not a butterfly, it's a dragonfly punch out that I made and I had in my stash. So I'm just going to glue that on top of the page. And that concludes the work I'm doing for my signature. And so now it was time to see how the 4 would look in the book. So now I think I've already put them in the right order, and I'm keeping the names. So I've written the names in pencil of whose signature so that the winner will be able to see. But of course, since it's in pencil, you can erase it if you don't want to keep those names there. So now I'm going to do some work on the cover, and so I've already gutted the book. And I'm using some Tyvek, which I have graciously received from Renee from GT Designs, who had also given me the beautiful flow journal. I will also link that video below in case you missed that video. That flow journal is so much fun. And so Renee had included a bunch of Tyvek for me, which I'm so thankful for because I don't really get that here, and I've been using it a lot for journals. So it's awesome because it doesn't tear. So it's really great to use to strengthen a spine of a journal. So the next thing I wanted to do was to add some inside for some paper for the inside cover. And I found this book like last year sometime, which is designer wrapping paper. I love these kind of books. In case you want to look for that, there is the number that you need. You can probably find it on Amazon. I got it reduced. It was on a sale in a bookshop. And I'm going to choose one of these papers for the inside covers. And I wanted, of course, to go with the outside cover. So I was trying to decide between this one and this one. And I just thought that this one was a bit calmer, which is why I ended up choosing that one. It's nice that they have perforated edges, so it's really nice to tear out. And now I'm just gonna measure how big those papers need to be. So now I've already cut them out, inked the edges. Really loving this kind of like chalky tile design, it looks like. And this kind of like orangey terracotta color is exactly the color the book has on the front as well. So now I'm just using my 3-in-1 glue to glue that down and burnishing it with my bone folder. So I've done that on both sides. So next step is I'm going to make some holes for the sari silk ribbon I'm going to use to tie the book together, because I'm assuming that the new owner will add some more things as well. So then if it doesn't stay closed on its own, you can just tie it shut. So I'm again just using my crocodile, which easily goes through any book cover. Now I'm trying to choose the color of my eyelet, and I go with a golden one. So that's what that looks like. And on the back side. And of course I'll do the same thing on the back cover. And then I'm going to add some dyed cheesecloth, which is also from Renee. She had added those to the flow book as well, and I'm so thankful because I love it. And I'm just going to cut a strip the width of the spine and the height, just a little taller than the book. And I'm just going to glue that onto the Tyvek. This is a step which is absolutely not necessary, but I think it adds a really nice touch to your book. And I will be covering that again, or not again, I will be covering that with some book cloth, but you can see it peeking out from the top and the bottom. And of course you could leave the ends out a little longer as well, but I just like them peeking out a little bit. So here you see it barely peeks out, but it does make a difference. And again, it strengthens the spine because you're gluing it down, and the glue will strengthen the spine again. So this is the book cloth I have chosen. It's a beautiful green that goes with the green that's on the outside. And I'm doing this inside and outside because I did want to cover these parts of the book which really didn't look nice. So first for here I'm just checking if it's wide enough. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to measure the right length, then I'm going to glue it down with my 3-in-1 glue on the inside only. And I'm making sure to burnish it really well, first in the middle, and once that is in there and burnished well, I make sure that I get the crease, and then I burnish all the way to the outside. So now comes the hardest part of the whole process, is to wait until it's dry. Because you don't want to go through your needle before it's dry. So yeah, so this is quite a few hours later. I had been out shopping and everything, so had enough time to dry. So now I'm making a very simple template with some regular copy paper. So I'm cutting out the same size as the spine, and now I'm making some marks as to where the holes for the 3-hole pamphlet stitch should go. So since I have 4 signatures, I divided the width of the spine by 5 so that the 4 signatures would be spaced evenly, which was quite a challenge given that the spine was not very wide. And then I'm just finding the middle and then going out from the middle evenly on both sides so that I could do the outer holes. And now where all those lines meet is where my holes are gonna go. So I'm just gonna put that on there with some washi tape so I can easily take it off again. And I'm marking on this template where the top is. That is important as well, as we're also going to be using this template for the signatures as well. So here's my awl. And I'm just gonna punch all the holes through. So we have 4 times 3 holes, so that's 12 holes in total. Making sure that they came out right on the other side. So you won't see those afterwards because after we sew in the signatures, we're going to cover it with the book cloth on the outside. So carefully taking that washi tape off and folding that so I can use it as a template for my signatures. So first I'm making sure that all the papers are lined up well. Then I'm going to clamp them to make sure they stay in place. Now I'm going to fold my template. and secure that to the middle of the spine, making sure everything is nice and flush on that fold there. And now I'm just going to use that template to punch the 3 holes through. And this is why it was important to note where the top of that template is, otherwise the holes might not match up. Now I'm just going to start sewing that in, and I'm using this dark green embroidery floss or thread, and I'm measuring 2.5 lengths of the book. So I'm going to cut it there and just show you the sewing process very quickly. You've probably done this on your own, but in case you are new to junk journal making, you can just briefly watch this, taking a needle from this beautiful needle book made by Maud. Maud, I love it so much. I use it all the time. So I'm going in through the middle. Then I will, or going out through the middle, sorry, going in through the top hole. You can also go in through the bottom hole. It doesn't matter which one. Then I'm going to thread that through to the hole on the other outside. So for me, it's the bottom hole. Sometimes you have to fiddle around with this a little bit. It doesn't always work nicely. And then back in the middle hole. This is probably the most difficult part, to be able to do that. And once you've done that, you just tie it really tightly and cut off your ends, and make sure everything is really tight so that there's no wobbling. So that's our first signature in. You see it's in there very snugly. And I do the same thing with the other 3 signatures, but you don't have to watch me do that. So they're all in. They work very well together. I think this is such a cool idea for a journal. And there you see all the 4 stitchings. And now we need to add the book cloth on the back. So here I'm also again cutting down the length, and this needs to be pretty exact for it to look good. And I'm again using my 3-in-1 glue. And I'm going to stand up my book because that's a lot easier, so I can center this piece. And I'm going to burnish it first in the middle and the crease, and then the outer sides again. I like this green cloth because it kind of made the book seem more lively again, because this old vintage brown, I think, didn't look so nice anymore. And now we're going to add some lace to the front and the back. It just kind of finishes off the book nicely. So this is self-adhesive lace. Got this from AliExpress, and I will link it below. So that's the back side, same thing. And the final touch now is to add some beautiful green, it's actually called Enchanted Forest sari silk from what is the store called? I forgot now. Karma Llama or something. You saw it on the video there, but it doesn't matter because they don't sell it anymore. I think that shop is closed, so no point in linking that. So here you see I'm just tying that off with a double knot, and I'll do the same thing on the back cover. So I'm just threading it through the eyelet and then making a double knot. and then you can tie a cute bow to close it. I think that's really cute. I love how this turned out. It's such a special book. But we're not done yet. On the inside covers, I also wanted to add pockets. So one of the pockets is going to be made out of the same paper, wrapping paper. I was thinking of wallpaper. It's not wallpaper, although it really looks like it could be. So here I'm just measuring the size I need it to be, and since I wanted it to be more sturdy, I backed it with some of my beige 200 GSM cardstock. I'm just gonna trim that down to the size of the print. And next I'm just scoring 2 of the sides to make it easier for me to fold the edges down to make a pocket. You don't have to do this, but since I had it there, it was easy. Just gonna cut off that one edge. Actually, not true, I'm cutting off all 3 edges. And now I'm gonna fold down those 2 flaps. And I'm also rounding the corner of this pocket. And then I'm going to distress the edges with my vintage photo. And I'm going to add that to the back there. So just gluing those down again with my 3-in-1 glue. And burnishing it to make sure it sticks really well. So there's a little pocket on the back, and now I also wanted one for the front. And for the front, I am using this beautiful embroidered piece that I got in a Happy Mail, but I have to alter it a little bit since I didn't feel that the lace worked well with the design of this book. I'm actually going to be cutting that lace off. And I know some of you are hurting when I cut this doily, but I'm guessing the person that sent this to me in Happy Mail kind of knew that I would be cutting it up, so I hope it's okay. I kind of just eyeballed the size it needs to be. So here I'm just gonna cut the lace off. That was very easy to do, and I'm definitely going to be using the lace in another project because it's very cute, and I'll show you a close-up of that. It's so sweet. Okay, I think this works much better with the design of the book, and since the edges were fraying a lot, I decided to just fold those down using my double-sided tape. I don't want to use liquid glue for this because that glue will come through and it'll show on the outer side of the fabric, so that's not pretty. So this way, when I do this, you won't see any of the glue, obviously, and you won't see the tape either because it's transparent. So I'm going to do that for both sides where I tore. I decided to cut some excess off there, especially where the seam was, so that we don't have any unnecessary bulk. I'm gonna fold that over. So now we have 2 very neat edges. So that looks much better, I think, like this. And now I also added some double-sided tape to actually glue it down to the cover. And now I've added some double-sided tape over that, and actually I'm also adding some 3-in-1 glue just to make sure
that it really sticks down well. And there's the final pocket. I think it's really cute to have that in the front. And that's our journal. I hope the winner will enjoy working in this. So now I wanted to reveal who the other two prizes are from. So they are from Your Creative Studio, and Amanda, who is the curator of this lovely subscription box, has decided she is going to sponsor 2 November boxes for you. So this is amazing. And so the November box is already sold out by the time I make this video. So it's very special that she saved some for you guys, and I'm very happy and very thankful to you, Amanda, for having done that. So once I draw the 2 winners, you will be able to contact Amanda directly. I'll give you her contact info and she will send you a box. So I will be drawing 3 winners and I'm very excited. So to be able to receive one of the 3 prizes, so the 2 boxes and the journal, you will have to do the following. So you need to be a subscriber and like this video, and you have to leave a comment below to let me know if you will be participating in December daily. Now it's not relevant for you to participate. It doesn't matter whether you say yes or no. I'm just really curious to see how many of you actually are going to try the December daily this year. So I did it last year for the first time. So you make a journal entry every day in December, and I did use prompts last year. I haven't seen any prompts for December daily yet this year. If I do, by the time I put this up, I will link them down below. But you don't have to use prompts. You can do anything you want, of course, for your December daily, but it is usually a journal which is themed around winter and a lot of times Christmas. And so I have made a journal already, a winter journal for that. I will link that video down below. I will also link down below the flip through. I believe I have a flip through of my 2018 December daily, which I did in a traveler's notebook, and I love that. I just looked at it recently and I love how that turned out. So I do want to try it this year, but as I've mentioned in another video, I will be collaborating with the wonderful Irid Landgraf on the December daily this year, just because I cannot do every day. So she and I will be alternating the videos, so that will be cool as well. So the giveaway will be open up until Tuesday, November 26th, which is a week from now, 12 noon Central European time. And then I will draw the 3 winners and I will let you know probably in 1.5 weeks. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye.